Hi, everyone. I'm Cara Pryor, president at James Publishing, co-founder of our Marketing Amplifier program. Thanks so much for joining us today. I really spend most of my time these days speaking with attorneys about how to maximize their marketing ROI, right? So we're talking about how to get the highest return on your marketing investment and really how to kind of see the best results from that ever so precious marketing budget. Experienced online marketers know that offering lead magnets is the single best way to attract prospects, hands down. And that's really what we're going to focus on today. The most effective lead magnets are information-based, right? They offer content that solves problems or answers specific questions. And it's true that lawyers using educational lead magnets have found that they draw higher quality prospects than pay-per-click ads, higher quality than TV, billboard, and other advertising that is, kind of naturally short on content. So people, you know this, people who research their problems before calling your firm have a better understanding of whether their issues actually warrant hiring an attorney, right? They come to you better prepared. It really, in the end, they are better clients. So, here at James Publishing, we've been a legal book publisher for nearly 40 years. Content is really what we hang our hat on here. We truly believe great marketing starts with the highest quality content. So during today's example-packed presentation, I'm going to show you tons of samples that we're calling creating and promoting effective lead magnets. I'll walk you through the two best formats, the two best lead magnet formats, the most effective topic categories, topic ideas for 7 consumer specialties, creation shortcuts. I'll give you a few tips to make things a little bit easier, low cost promotion strategies, the highest ROI promotion, and more. So please feel free to ask questions anytime in the Zoom chat. Ask those questions throughout the presentation at any time, just using the chat feature in Zoom. And I'll make sure that I answer all of those at the end of the session. So again, please ask those questions. And really, the questions can be directly relating to what we're talking about or anything that you want to ask about your marketing. I'd love to answer those. So kind of without further ado, let's not waste any more time and let's go ahead and dive in. So creating and promoting effective lead magnets. So the first thing I want to talk about, the first step is choosing the format, text or video, right? So the very first question you want to answer is whether your lead magnet will be created using text or video. So start by asking yourself, do you prefer to write or do you prefer to speak in general? So which are you better at? Which are you more comfortable with? And then next, consider kind of the complexity of your first topic. So how much explaining will it need, right? Is it more complex? Is it a little bit more simplistic? Keep that in mind. The best approach really is to use both formats, to use text and video. So you appeal to both readers and watchers, but you can combine the two approaches by sort of introducing your written lead magnet with a video. So on the slide here, some text examples, certainly books, booklets, checklists, cheat sheets are great, quizzes. The advantages to text lead magnets, the appeal to readers, can deliver more details in the written form. And it's really harder for competitors to replicate your text lead magnets. They can certainly be a bit time consuming to create, but you don't have to start with a 100-page book, right? You can start with a quick checklist, a quick quiz, and kind of build on it from there. But then when we're talking about videos, great example videos, how-to videos, whiteboard style explainer videos, short courses, full webinars, again, keeping it very educational. The advantages of videos creates kind of this stronger bond, right? You can see me right now. There is sort of a level of trust that certainly goes into into video. It's easier to stand out with video. It's naturally unique. It's you speaking to your prospective clients, and can certainly be a bit faster to create. So you don't need to sit down and write out a lead magnet if you have a topic. You can just sit down at your computer, even use your smartphone and create a video. So especially in this kind of new pandemic virtual world that we're living in, right? We've grown quickly accustomed to seeing even some of our nation's top leaders, certainly local officials, reporters, coming to us directly from their home or their home office. So it's certainly, you don't need to spend tons of time and money on high production value videos, right? It will go a long way simply connecting with your prospective clients, in a simple way. But just remember, both formats, text and video, work. So let your personal preference kind of guide where you start. And in the long run, ideally, you will use both formats, okay? So moving on. So step number 2, selecting topics. Solve problems, answer questions, and summarize past cases. So here you see your prospects turn to the internet because they've maybe encountered a problem. Maybe they have a question they're looking to get answered. They want to learn more about a specific topic. So each of your lead magnets should essentially address one of those 3 items, right? So a problem, a question, or a specific topic. The most effective lead magnets really do help people convey your caring, show you're ready to help, either by solving their problems directly, answering their questions, or giving them sort of the solution-oriented example. So let's dig into each of those 3 categories. Let's see if I can advance there. Okay, so each of these 3 categories. So number 1, solve problems. So let's focus first on solving problems. First, you can really kind of list several problems that your prospect is facing. You know this better than anyone, right? So take a moment. For instance, the bankruptcy prospect can't pay the bills, has creditors calling, might have his car repossessed or home foreclosed, is certainly worried about a bankruptcy filing, eliminating his credit, taking his possessions, maybe costing his job. Think about those problems. Another example, the breadwinner father with a withering marriage is facing child and maybe even spousal support payments. Mom is threatening to move away with the kids. Maybe his sensitive younger daughter is already struggling. What impact will a divorce have? Really try to dive in and get in the head of your prospect and consider those problems and those fears, those challenges that they're experiencing now. Another example, the seriously injured injury claimant can't get the adjuster to return her calls. She doesn't know when she'll be able to return to work. Medical bills are piling up. Physical therapy doesn't seem to be helping. Getting her car repaired is costing a fortune. Depression seems to be setting in. So once you've described the problem, detail the solution you provide, right? With special attention to how good it will feel to have the problem in the past for your client, right? The burden that will be removed from their life once you step in, handle the issue, and resolve the issue for them. So on the slide, I've included some additional examples. I'll run through those now for varying specialties. But again, bankruptcy, because these are some actual topics that really kind of zero in on these challenges. So bankruptcy, how to negotiate with debt collectors. Business litigation, maybe creative techniques for negotiating business disputes. Criminal, steps to take when a loved one is arrested. Estates, review your estate docs when these events occur. Family law, how to tell your spouse you want a divorce. Injury, tips for dealing with a difficult insurance adjuster. Social Security disability, avoid these mistakes commonly made by unrepresented claimants. Okay, so those are some great topics that you can use right out of the gate and will definitely appeal to some of your prospects. But again, these challenges, the sort of inherent, the key challenges of your prospects. So take some time to just write those down and then focus on those solutions. Okay, moving right along. So number 2, answer questions. So we recommend you answer a mix of sort of broad and narrow questions. So for example, Social Security disability, the first question listed, how do I determine if I'm likely to qualify? That's broad, right? Can I work part-time while applying? That's a narrow question. Broad questions appeal to a wider audience naturally, right? But sort of in a softer way. So they also have more competition. Narrow questions, on the other hand, will draw fewer readers or fewer viewers, but those prospects will have kind of more intense or more specific interest in what you have to say, and thus, are likely more qualified and are likely, it's more likely that you'll be able to help those folks. Bankruptcy. Can bankruptcy save my home? How do I know if I'm a good candidate for filing bankruptcy? How long after bankruptcy can I get my credit back? You see the broad and the narrow. Business litigation. How are breach of contract damages computed? Broad. How can I determine whether I have a good breach of contract case? Criminal defense. What happens next? Is there anything I can do to help an arrested family member? What are the potential defenses in a blank case? Okay, let's continue with these examples, these sort of broader and then more narrow. Estate planning. So what are the best ways to maintain family harmony over the distribution of my estate? And then what challenges to my distribution plan can be made? Family law, perhaps, how can I minimize turmoil during our divorce? And then how can I insulate the kids from the coming chaos? What preparation steps should I take? Personal injury, how do I determine if the insurer's settlement offer is fair? And then what are the warning signs that I'm being taken advantage of? How can I best keep my claim sort of moving forward? And then Social Security disability, how do I determine if I'm likely to qualify? And can I work part-time while applying? What can I do to help my claim? So these are some solid examples of the kind of broad and then narrowing. And I think, hopefully that either, gives you a direct example or definitely provides some inspiration into and kind of further describes what the point that I'm trying to make. So I want to show you here's just a quick look at some of the topic-specific lead magnet booklets that are included in our marketing amplifier system. So as our subscriber, you gain access to really a massive library of lead magnets. But here, you can see we have thrown a simple professional design behind these lead magnets, and they're topic-specific, of course, specialties-specific as well. Okay. So step 2, selecting topics. Struggling for topics. This is a natural hurdle, right? So if you have trouble kind of coming up with problems or questions to address, Google several possibilities. Google is a wonderful, wonderful resource here. Google's prompts will deliver a wealth of ideas that people are actually searching for. So do you know what I mean when I'm talking about those prompts? The kind of autofill search terms that appear when you begin to type in a question or concern into Google, right? So Google can really kind of greatly expand your creativity if you've kind of run into that hump. So for example, plugging in or typing in negotiating with insurance adjusters into Google search bar triggers a prompt window that actually includes insurance claim adjuster secret tactics, insurance adjuster won't negotiate, how to respond to a low settlement offer. So what's great about using Google is that people are actually searching for these topics listed. And again, it kind of expands your creativity. So that's a really easy, really simple tool, a way to kind of get past that block if you're just sort of unsure or kind of struggling to come up with topics. Again, great way to actually generate those topic ideas, but also you can sort of be confident in those topics, in the interest in those topics, as Google will only prompt or only kind of recommend search terms that are actually being used, that folks are actually searching for, right? Okay. So number 3, summarize past clients. Stories have great appeal, right? And every case you've handled is a story ready to be told. so many of the attorneys I speak with kind of forget about this or don't really realize the power behind their past case experiences, right? So ideally, you'll sort of incorporate these, ideally, you'll sort of incorporate these stories everywhere. So on your website, certainly on your YouTube channel, they make wonderful social media fodder on your social profiles. So you can also kind of supplement your written lead magnets with these sort of past client summaries. Format-wise, these summaries of past cases can be delivered by either text or video, of course, but the best approach is kind of a transcribed video that's readily accessible to both readers and watchers. So you're appealing to both sets, folks who prefer to watch, folks who prefer to read. We recommend you supplement your problems and questions with brief explanations of past cases you've handled, right? Prospects in need of legal help want a lawyer who's previously handled their exact fact pattern, right? Or as close to it as possible. That certainly builds confidence. It certainly builds trust and gives the prospect some additional insight into how you might handle their case, right? So envisioning kind of being clear of their legal problem is also a powerful pull, especially when seeing that you've repeatedly helped people move past their similar problems. Okay, so number 3, building your lead magnets. I always tell attorneys, aim at the do-it-yourselfer. And this can sometimes be a little bit controversial when I offer this advice, but your avatar, your ideal target should be the do-it-yourselfer. What should he or she know about addressing the problem? And I can't stress enough, don't worry about giving information away, right? The prospect you want will not be handling their own legal issues. That's not the point. But you detailing the process will absolutely persuade them that you have the necessary knowledge and the necessary experience to handle their problem, right? So the beauty of writing for or speaking to the do-it-yourselfer is that your words will kind of naturally, will sort of flow readily. You simply explain what you know and what you do regularly. So it shouldn't take a ton of preparation. It's really just kind of documenting what you already do, your process. So take this specific webinar session right now, right? I'm explaining what we at James regularly do. For every year, we create dozens of lead magnets for lawyers. We create tons of them. Some of you will use this information that I'm sharing now to improve your own lead magnet creation efforts, and I hope you do. But others who are also in need of lead magnets will likely be convinced of our knowledge and our experience by the details that I'm providing right now, the details I'm providing in this session. And we'll really think of us, we'll think of James Publishing when they need legal marketing content, but don't have the time or desire to create it themselves. So the same thing, you know, in your case, explaining the details to your prospects will persuade them that really dealing with legal issues, whether money problems, business disputes, plea bargaining, trust creation, dividing spousal assets, maybe negotiating with adjusters, qualifying for disability benefits, all of that is not as straightforward and easy as the prospect perhaps first thought. And that's the point. That's what you're trying to get across, while at the same time showcasing your expertise, showcasing your authority and your knowledge and really your grasp of your ability to handle their problem. Okay, so on this slide, I actually want to show you a video. This is a video lead magnet example that is aimed at the do-it-yourselfer. So I'll play just a brief clip to give you an idea. Let me just play this now, and then I'll talk about it briefly.
You were involved in an injury accident, and suddenly, through no fault of your own, everything has changed. You cannot work in the same way you used to. You have medical bills to pay and complicated insurance issues to sort out. It's no wonder you're feeling overwhelmed. That's where we come in. We are knowledgeable and experienced personal injury lawyers. If you were injured due to another person's carelessness, we can help you obtain compensation for the harm that was done to you. Here are 5 ways we help our personal injury clients, and we can help you.
Okay, so that was just a brief example. Again, your videos certainly don't need to be really have much production value at all, right? It just needs to be, you kind of conveying and answering those common questions and really kind of appealing to the do-it-yourselfer. Okay, so moving right along, practical step-by-step. So assume that your lead magnet reader or viewer is short on time, because they likely are, and might even be distracted. So if your lead magnet is text-based, write for skim reading, right? Use frequent headings, bullets, lists, recap summaries. All of those work really well for skim reading, folks who are in a hurry that want to kind of gain a large amount of knowledge in a short amount of time. But if your lead magnet is a video, provide intro and recap slides to kind of supplement your talking head middle sections. And again, state the problem or question, describe how the problem should be tackled or provide a clear answer to the question, illustrate your solutions and answer with a summary or two of cases you have handled, right? So include your contact information, very important. Okay, so I told you I would provide you with a couple of shortcuts. So text shortcut first. If you don't have access or just don't want to pay for professional design, that's totally fine and totally understandable. But a great tool, attract.io, it's really a wonderful way to kind of efficiently obtain that professional look of your booklet at no charge. So attract.io, it offers templates for checklists, resource guides, case studies, how-to guides, all kinds of templates that are modern, professional, look really great. So simply add your content. That's all you have to do. Select colors and images. It's all free and you're done. No graphic designer or special skill needed. The platform provides a link, so you don't need to kind of upload the book to your website or landing page. If you don't want to, you can, but we're not associated in any way with attract.io, but it's just a really great free tool that I wanted to share with you. And then to help you with the video side, video shortcut, video ask. It's not completely free like attract.io, but you can, I believe you can try it without a cost. So there is a free trial version. If you don't regularly create videos, video ask really is a great way to begin, and your game will kind of sharpen over time, of course, but videoask.com makes it super easy to shoot with your phone and kind of embed those videos on your website. You can actually reply to prospects directly within the Video Ask platform, which is pretty convenient and pretty quick and kind of seamless. But the pricing structure is 20 minutes per month is free. Then after that, the yearly price is $24 per month for 100 minutes, 40 for 200 minutes. But I suggest you check that out if you don't have the kind of internal video help there. Okay, so low cost promotion strategies, the promotion challenge. So you should devote as much effort to the promotion of your lead magnets as you did to their creation. Again, let me say it again. You should really devote just as much time and effort to promoting your lead magnets as you did to creating them, right? But you can't spend much money on the promotion because magnets generate soft leads. Not everyone who reads about a legal issue is ready to hire a lawyer right away, or should hire a lawyer. So lead magnets are best for growing your list, which you then nurture. So a portion of the magnet downloaders will contact you immediately, and an equal number or even more will contact you later. That's the low-hanging fruit that we're really trying to capitalize on. So creating your lead magnets is one half the challenge. And then next, of course, you need to promote their availability or no one will know that they're there. So this promotion needs to be low cost. So let's dive into that a little bit. So low cost promotion strategies. Alert your followers. Once you have these wonderful assets, let people know that they exist. So lawyers with followers have a big marketing advantage, obviously, right? They can promote inexpensively. Whether these followers live on your email list, maybe in your social profiles, your YouTube channel, they're the first ones you should promote your new lead magnet to. And it's free, right? If you don't have followers though, you can use your lead magnets to start generating them. That's kind of the beauty of it. So it's sort of no excuse to say, well, I'm not going to create lead magnets because I don't have a list. Well, that's kind of the point, right? You can actually use these lead magnets to build that highly super valuable list. So require that contact information be provided by anyone downloading or viewing your lead magnets, right? Should be gated. That's what we say. So in exchange for contact information, the visitor is delivered the lead magnet. So regularly provide valuable information to your followers, and then they'll be receptive when you ask them for help, like sharing your leads with your friends and colleagues, right? So asking them basically to share them. So you'll see on this slide, hopefully you've been building your list of prospects. So, you might have an email list with an announcement kind of describing your new lead magnet. Or perhaps you've been active on Facebook or LinkedIn, post a link to that new lead magnet with a little teaser, or of course on your website. So add a pop-up. This is probably, this is my top promotion tip, right? So add your lead magnet to your website. A really great way to do that is by adding an exit intent pop-up, offering your lead magnet in exchange for contact information, and maybe even at that point, asking a couple of qualifying questions so that you get a sense of maybe the urgency of the legal need, maybe the severity of the legal issue. But let me show you an example. So this is an example of an FAQ pop-up. So this pop-up portion here would appear as a visitor to your site would go to exit your site. They've otherwise, they haven't contacted you, we wouldn't have even known they were there. But then they're served up this pop-up offering lengthy educational branded booklet, again, in exchange for contact information. The whole point of this is you want to capture those folks. You absolutely have a group. You may have a rather large group of your website visitors who just aren't quite ready to kind of book a consult or might not be quite ready to give you a call, but perhaps they're on your site looking to gather more information, looking to get their questions answered. And without offering a lead magnet or educational materials on your site, we would have no idea they were ever there, right? They would leave without a trace. So collecting their contact info here, again, in exchange for the super valuable, high value, educational booklet, allows you to then, of course, collect their contact info so that then you can nurture them along with equally as educational, equally as valuable materials on an ongoing basis. So, the whole idea is you're capturing this prospect, you are entering them ideally into an automated drip sequence, an automated nurturing email series that keeps you top of mind, conveys your caring, answers their common questions, and really just shows that you're ready to help. So I couldn't recommend adding an FAQ lead magnet pop-up to your site more. I look at hundreds of attorney websites. I spend a lot of time analyzing and really taking deep dives into law firm websites. And to be frank, it is rare that anything outside of a free case evaluation or a free consultation is offered on law firm websites that I review. You need a step, you need a valuable option for those folks who just aren't quite ready to give you a call. That's the lowest hanging fruit. Visitors, we're talking about visitors that are already coming to your site, so it's not necessary to increase your traffic, to increase your lead volume. We're just talking about capturing more of those prospects, and then of course boosting your conversion rate, nurturing them along and qualifying them and attracting more high quality clients. Okay, so let's move along. The highest ROI promotion. I told you I would tell you about this. So our most valuable recommendation. I finished this session with the most valuable marketing advice, in my opinion, you may ever receive. Promote to others' followers. Effectively promoting to others' followers will generate the highest ROI of any marketing you do. I can guarantee that. Don't let the simplicity of that statement kind of cause you to underestimate the usefulness of this advice. For most small businesses that use this technique, including small law firms, the technique really does greatly outperform all others. So let's give you some examples of how small law firms can use this wonderfully effective technique. So one marketing technique that really does surpass all others in return on investment, primarily because it works so well and it costs so little, that technique can be simply stated: promote to others' followers. So let's get into the examples of what I'm talking about. So the more followers you have and the more engaged they are, obviously the easier it will be for you to recruit partners. Wise promoters will sort of always be attractive to responsive lists, right? That makes sense. So you need to bring some of that to the table that kind of benefits. There needs to be something that benefits your promotion partner, right? So a big list has the most appeal, but if you're just beginning to build your list, that's okay. You can use lead magnets or other content as a substitute. So many organizations need a steady flow of new content, whether written, recorded, or even spoken live. So you should be as aggressive and regular, consistent about growing your list of promotion partners as you are building your library of lead magnets. So those should really go hand in hand. And once you have a sizable collection of both, of partners and lead magnets, you're sort of regularly adding to them, right? So you'll find that you can begin to free yourself from kind of the grasp of expensive PPC, expensive pay-per-click ads and SEO services. So let's look at some of the examples on the slide now. So a bankruptcy attorney swaps lead magnet e-blasts with a local credit counselor. A business litigator contributes to the newsletter of her local chamber of commerce. And a state's lawyer jointly conducts a webinar with a local financial advisor. A family attorney donates a digital booklet to a local father's rights group. A personal injury lawyer contributes content to a motorcycle riders Facebook group. Do you get what I'm getting at here? So these are some great examples, but I really want this to sink in for a moment, because it can be the highest ROI. It will be the highest ROI marketing campaign that you ever run if you kind of approach it in a coordinated way. Okay. So please ask questions. I see we have a couple here, but continue to ask your questions and I will get to those. I did want to include, before we get to the questions, you'll see on this slide, I love to talk about this stuff. I'd love to provide you with some more personalized, tailored advice. I'm happy to do it. So you can contact me. You see my direct line there, 714-434-5926, or my email address, kprior, KPRIOR @jamespublishing.com. Please reach out. I'd love to chat, especially if, if you've just received all of this information and you might be feeling a little bit overwhelmed, right? It's completely understandable. So if you feel like you might not have the time, or you would like our help with some of the lead magnet creation, you want to learn more about our marketing amplifier system, we provide, I suggest you actually visit jamesamplifier.com to get more info on our program. But for $295 a month, we offer an extensive, comprehensive program that really targets every phase of your client life cycle. So as I mentioned, you gain full access to our massive library of branded consumer books and booklets. Of course, they're all specialty specific. So you get a 100-page book. The booklets range from a couple pages to 50 or 60 pages, and they're typically 20 to 40 of those booklets available. Our team of in-house attorney editors they're always working on adding to those collections, adding to those, to those libraries, and you would immediately gain access to any new materials at no additional cost. So $295 a month. We also includes videos, social media posting is coming very soon. We're also offering custom video shoots as part of our Marketing Amplifier $295 offer. So feel free to give me a call. I'd love to talk to you about that, or we don't have to talk about that at all. And I'd love to just provide some marketing advice. So feel free to reach out. Let me get to some of these questions now. So how do I convert my lead magnet downloaders into clients? That's a great question, because in the end, that's really the goal, right? So I kind of touched on this, but I'll get more specific. So first step, my first advice there is ask multiple choice qualifying questions. And that will really help you prioritize your follow-up, right? Because you'll want to be contacting those with sizable and kind of immediate legal issues first, or, more immediately. So, you could ask, how large is your legal issue, or how urgent is your legal issue? But again, you want these to be really simple to answer, multiple choice questions. You don't want to ask too much of your lead magnet downloaders, because it will turn them off. And in the end, you'll end up losing even their contact info. They won't even provide their contact info. So, you don't want to make this too complicated, but keeping it simple with asking those qualifying questions. And then kind of the second step is put the rest into a nurturing series. And a few of them will contact you, certainly. So, we're now creating a webinar on creating lead funnels specifically that will provide details and examples. So we're planning to host that probably in 2 weeks. So that will go into kind of the nitty-gritty of creating and kind of nurturing those lead funnels. But it's a wonderful question, because in the end, the whole point of the lead magnet is you want those downloaders, those requesters of the lead magnet to turn into high quality clients. So ask a couple of qualifying questions that will help to kind of screen out those folks that you just can't help anyway. And then, definitely put all of those requesters into a nurturing series. And that's really full of educational materials. And again, our Marketing Amplifier program includes comprehensive, lengthy nurturing series for every phase of the client lifecycle. Okay. Okay, so continue to ask your questions. I see, okay, one more that came in to me. Do I need multiple lead magnets? Great question. So are you good with just one? How long can that last you? The idea is, you do want to select topics that are, that you can kind of create and then use over and over for years. However, certainly a steady flow of new lead magnets will generate more leads and kind of grow your list of followers faster and kind of more steadily than remaining stagnant with one. But aim for producing one text-based. Maybe you can start with one text lead magnet each quarter. If that sounds feasible to you, you can really kind of chunk out your time and schedule that out. And that's a pretty good clip. I mean, that if you're able to create a text lead magnet once a quarter, if that's doable, if you think you can do that, you'll be steadily growing your library. When we're talking about videos, those are a lot easier to just kind of hop on and produce and just kind of dedicate a little bit of time, maybe a Friday afternoon or something like that. So if you're talking about video lead magnets, maybe shoot for one every month, and that will really allow you to create a library pretty quickly. Okay, so any other questions? Last chance. I don't see any coming in. Okay, so it was an absolute pleasure. We'll send you the recording of this webinar. Please contact me if you'd like to chat, and we'll talk to you soon. Thanks so much. Till next time.